Okay, so we're going to start in a comfortable seat. So if you like to sit on your couch or on blocks or a bolster or whatever, seated position allows you to find the most ease and spaciousness. Take a moment to adjust and find that. Any little wiggles or shifts that you need to allow for, so you can bring yourself into the present, into your physical body, the physical layer, your annamaya kosha. And just kind of tuning in a little deeper to your energy layer. And then to that mental emotional layer. And we'll begin with just a little mudra meditation. We'll take the left hand, a gentle cup with the left hand, and bring it just below the belly button. You can hold it a little bit away from your belly. And then make a gentle cup with the right hand and cup the right hand over the left so that the right fingertips wrap over the outer left thumb. And you can have the eyes open or closed, whatever suits you at this moment. And take a moment to just attune to the sensations, thoughts, feelings evoked by this gesture of the hands. This is the gesture of the treasure chest, Samputa Mudra. And today we are practicing with the yama of satya, truthfulness. Truthfulness in thought, word, and deed. So sometimes in our lives it's hard to discern what is our truth. And one way we can do that is to tune in and ask, what do I need? So maybe taking a moment to open yourself up and invite that question. You don't need to have an answer arise, but just open and invite the question, what do I need? It might be in this moment, it might be in another area of your life. And then release the hands, come on into the diaphragmatic breath, AD breath. If you like, the one hand on the low belly, one hand on the chest, just for a few rounds. Filling the belly, expanding the rib cage wide with your inhale. Chest stays quiet and soft. Exhale, belly drawing back toward the spine softly, ribs drawing inward. And checking out with loving kindness our breath, looking with truthfulness. Is the inhale and exhale of equal duration? Is the breath a little jagged? Is it smooth? And then if you like, softly closing the back of the throat for that ujjayi, that light, soft hiss sound, the ocean sound accompanying our breath. And let's just do a little bit of massage for the vagus nerve, the orofacial area. So if you have a little massage ball, myofascial release ball, you can take that, and we'll come to this sternocleidomastoid muscle kind of from the base of the skull to the inside of the clavicle, the collarbone. And if you don't have a myofascial ball, you can just make a gentle fist and kind of wave the fingers along that SCM. And stay with your AD breath, your diaphragmatic breath. Noticing any tender points. If there's a spot that's super tender, you can pause and spend about 3 breaths on that spot. So, truthfulness in thought, word, and deed. So word, how do we practice satya in our speaking? Can we communicate our truth? And then when you're ready, switching to the other side, just a little massage along the sternocleidomastoid on that opposite side, from the base of the skull down to the corner of that same collarbone. You can do a little movement with the head and neck if you like, if that feels right to you, if that is what you need in this moment. Again, any tender spots, you're welcome to pause. Whatever amount of pressure feels tolerable and like a soft invitation, stay there for a few breaths. So if our neck and throat and face is tight all the time, right? We know in our medical therapeutic yoga, it's very hard to speak authentically from a full heart, to really communicate who we are and what we want to say. So keeping this area free and pliable can help us with that. And then release that. Come on down into a child's pose. If you like to use a yoga couch for child's pose, you're welcome to do so. Just pulling the blankets up into the hips. So either turning the face to one side or the forehead on the floor. You come back into that abdominal diaphragmatic breath here, breathing into the back ribs, the back lungs. On the inhale, feeling the lungs expand, the ribs expand wide and spread like fish gills. Letting the belly drop toward the floor, the pelvic floor open and spread. Exhale, sinking a little deeper into your center, into your truth, into your satya, and into what you need in this moment. About one more breath there. And then coming up to the hands and knees. If you like a little padding under the knees, you can avail yourself of a little blanket or something to support the knees. We'll take the hands under the shoulders, and we'll do that arm spiral, so the crease of the elbow spinning forward, hands spreading like cat paws really wide through all the fingers. Take a big breath in, just in a neutral spine. The gaze is down, so we have our shin lock activated. On your exhale, gently draw the belly button to the spine, or lift the pelvic floor, or think of the hip bones drawing toward each other. So just coming into our power breath now in this 4-point position. Inhale, ribs widen. Exhale, belly button gently to spine, pelvic floor lifts. And then moving into your cat and cow. Lifting the tailbone, drop the waist, lift the eyes. And then on the exhale, tucking and rounding. So this is your truth, your practice. This can be as slow or as rapid as feels good to you. And in fact, if you like, you can pause at one point on this cat and cow movement spectrum and breathe into that spot if there's a spot that feels a little sleepy or sticky. Or maybe it feels good to you to move into a little bit of a tail wag or hula hoop the rib cage. So just start to explore a little bit what your body, mind, and heart are calling for here. And you can make it kind of weird and wild if that feels good. And then gently letting that movement come to a stillness. We'll shift into a lunge. If you like to use blocks to kind of support the torso or the hips, you can shift one leg forward. I'll put my right foot forward, but you can do whatever leg feels good to you. Coming into a low lunge. So the blocks can be at any height if you're using blocks. Yep. Or the hands can be on the floor. And just take a moment to Keep your power breath on, so gently activating the core. Ribs are still widening as you inhale, breathing into the back ribs. Adjust the neck so that the back of the neck is long, the tips of the ears are lifting. And then tuck the back foot under. Back foot under, so the back toes, yes. Breathe in. As you exhale, is it possible to bend the knee just a little bit so the foot floats off the ground? Yeah. Inhale, release that. Exhale, bending the knee just a little bit. Keep the throat and the jaw soft. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, bend. Inhale, release. And then as you exhale, shift the hips back, bringing that leg in, and we'll switch sides. So depending on what's going on with your hips, your low back, you may want your blocks on a different height, or you may just want the floor. So choose what feels right for you on this side, where your truth is. Find that spot, breathe into that low lunge. And so for some of us who might be extra mobile, if we tend to hang out way down, pushing into the front of the back hip, you might want to lift out of it a little bit, create more stability. Next, inhale, tuck the back toes under. Exhale, bend the back knee any amount, or maybe it's just thinking about bending the back knee if it doesn't go. Inhale, release. Exhale, a little bend. Inhale, releasing. Exhale, a little bend. Inhale, release. And then exhale, shift the hips back. Come right on into the hands and knees once again. And if the wrists are bothersome, you're always welcome to come down on the blocks, forearms on the blocks, if that's a better place for you today. We'll come into a little down dog prep with our nap meditation. Right, so such a truthfulness, speaking our truth, activating our fifth chakra, the throat energy center. Tucking the toes, establish your neutral spine, breathe in, widening the rib cage. As we exhale, first just lifting the knees off the floor, maybe an inch or two. Hold for 1 to 3 breath cycles. Rest when you need to today, whenever that is for you. And then if you're still holding, we'll lower the knees. Take a moment. On the next round, as we exhale, we will do our nap meditation. So we will a little humming noise at whatever tone or pitch feels right to you. So from the hands and the knees, breathing in. Exhale, push the floor away, float the knees up, and begin your hum, your nap. Lower the knees down. So the next round we're going to take that shift forward and backwards, shifting a little more weight to the hands, a little more weight to the feet as we practice the nap. So this is round 2, and your timing can be different than mine. That's totally fine. Breathing in. Exhale, pushing the floor away, float the knees, and take a little shifting forward and back as you hum that light Is it possible to make that noise? If not, maybe we need to adjust the position of the chin or the neck or the throat. Awesome. I hear some humming. I like it. Come back to rest. Knees down. Take a moment to wiggle it out. If you need to rest in child's pose, you can take that moment. We'll do one more round of that this time. Yeah, hula hoops. This time we're going to shift into, take your moment to rest. So on the next round we'll move from that forward back shift into a little hovering child's pose and all the way into down face dog. And if today is not down dog, you're not feeling it, and that's your truth, then just come right back into child's pose. And if possible, we're going to do this with our nap meditation still to activate that fifth energy center, throat chakra. Okay. Breathing in. Exhale, knees up, shifting front and back. And And then shift your hips as far back as they'll go. Inhale again. Either coming just to child's pose or step the feet back a little bit and find your way to Adho Mukha Svanasana, down face dog. So maybe the knees bend a little bit more. And tap the right ear to right shoulder, left ear, left shoulder, a little ringing the bell to find that easy neutral position of the neck. Let that ease out. And can we do a little bit of a slinky with the spine here? If you're in child's pose, just resting in child's pose. And then in whatever way is best for you today, making your way to the top of the mat. So perhaps if you're in child's pose, just coming up through a low lunge from the hands and the knees. If you're in down dog, maybe walking the feet toward the top of the mat, finding your way to an easy forward fold, so the feet a comfortable distance apart, knees bent enough to keep some ease in the low back. Perhaps you need a block under the hands or the hands on the back of the legs. Each exhale really activating the core, just enough to give yourself some support. Shake the head no and maybe nod the head yes. And then bend the knees deeply, lengthen the spine, and lift the heart. Reach the arms out wide and come all the way up to standing. Standing at the top of the mat, bring the hands to the heart. And we'll pause here in mountain pose with shoulder lock. Eyes can be closed or open. Take a moment to stand in your truth. Tuning back in, physically, energetically, emotionally. We'll take one tree pose, Vrikshasana. Hands can stay at the heart, or if you like, they can come to the hips, breathing in. Still with our power breath, exhale, shift all your way to the left leg, float the right knee forward. And maybe today the balance is just with the toe down. Or you can lift the knee. And then if it works for you today, shifting the knee out to the side without dragging the hips so the hips stay square. And then perhaps the right foot finding the left upper thigh or calf. Or maybe the toes stay on the floor. Maybe your tree flows with the wind and sways a little bit. The arms can come to the heart or reach up overhead. Any expression of your tree today. And shifting out of it, we'll float the right knee to the right and then forward. And then place the foot down. Take a moment to look down and see where the feet have landed. What is the truth of your stance in that moment? Okay. And then inhaling, hands on hips, ribs wide. Exhale, belly to spine, pour the weight into the right leg, float the left heel up. Perhaps your tree is here with the toes down, or maybe you float the knee forward. And you can stay here or float the knee to the side, keeping the hips square. And then the right foot can find the, left foot can find the right inner thigh or calf, or maybe the toes stay on the floor. And find the hand position, arm position that feels intrinsically right to you in this moment. Acting your truth, your satya. Releasing out of it. If the knee is to the side, floating it forward, then placing the foot down. Good. Roll the shoulders back and down. We'll shift into a bridge pose or a 2-foot pose. So we'll come to the floor in any way that works for you. I'm going to use a quarter fold mat to support my neck in the bridge pose. If you don't need to do that or like to do that, you're welcome to take it just on the mat. Okay. And we are going to do bridge pose with one more round of our nap. If you're feeling today like you just need a little bit of more of a restorative version, you can take this with a block underneath the sacrum, right? If you would rather not have a more active version of the pose. If you're laying on the quarter fold blanket, the head is off the blanket. Okay. So if you're taking a restorative bridge, you can just lift the pelvis and slide the block under the sacrum, if that's where your body and your truth want to be today. If you're taking a more active version, exhale, belly to spine, pelvic floor lifts, hip bones draw in, and then floating the hips up. You can either keep the spine neutral or you can tuck the tail and roll up one vertebra at a time, depending on what works best for you. So holding at the top, holding in a place where the neck and the throat are not tense. So if you need to take your hand and just feel for that, go ahead and take a little check there. And when you're ready, take 3 rounds of nap. 3 rounds of that light hum. At your own pace, will all be different. My hamstring is cramping. When you finish with your 3rd round, bringing the hips to the floor, and we'll take some windshield wipers to ease out the low back, opening the feet about mat distance apart, dropping the knees to the right and left at whatever pace works for you today. Maybe slow and luxurious, maybe a little more rapid if that's what feels good to your body, mind, and heart. And then evening out, right and left side, making your way to a happy baby. So perhaps holding under the thighs, the knees are wide, or over the knees, the shins, or at the ankles or the feet, using a strap if you like on the feet. And gentle rocking side to side, coming back into your abdomino-diaphragmatic breath here. Even feeling that massage across the back of the skull, back of the heart as you rock side to side. And then taking your time, feet to the floor. Take a moment to rest with the feet on the floor. You can have kissing knees if you like, the feet wide, inner knees kissing, or just the knees bent, feet flat on the floor. And ask one more time what it is you need in this moment. And then choose a position for your final relaxation that serves your highest good, that serves what you need. So maybe you want to come off the quarter fold blanket and roll up that blanket, place it under the back of the knees. Or maybe you want to come back onto the yoga couch. Or just stay with the knees kissing. Take your time to make yourself really comfortable. And once you're there, let go of controlling the breath. Let yourself be breathed. The muscles of the face and the throat relax and drape across the bones. Giving the weight of your body to the force of gravity and letting the earth rise up to meet you. And as you rest and integrate here, allowing the wisdom of of your deep inner knowing to arise. That deep body wisdom, the deep heart wisdom that is beyond the conditioning of the mind. In the words of John O'Donohue, let there be an opening into the quiet that lies beneath the chaos, where you find the peace you did not think possible and see what shimmers within the storm. Let there be an opening into the quiet that lies beneath the chaos, where you find the peace you did not think possible and see what shimmers within the storm. No effort, simply allowing. And then, as you're ready, beginning to move gently, rolling to one side, pausing there in a little curl on your side, resting in the simplicity of your authentic being. And returning to one last easy seated position. Taking your time. And we'll seal our practice, reaching the arms out wide and up overhead, palms together overhead. And draw the thumbs to the crown of the head, honoring our connection with the all-pervading source energy. Thumbs right between the eyebrows, acknowledging the light of our consciousness. And hands together in front of the heart, bowing to our innermost self and our innermost truth. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your attention.